It's time for another week. We need to reflect on the previous one and set some new weekly actions. Hey y'all, it's Taylor from Tattooed Teacher Plans. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today we are working on some reflection of the week before and some weekly actions for February 12th through the 18th. We are like halfway through February and like, how did that happen? I have no idea. First things first, let's talk about the week before. So February 5th through the 11th, it went pretty well, but you'll notice I have a couple of arrows going to next week. Some of these are my fault that I put on here that actually I meant to put on next week. And I just like totally spaced. So we're just going to move those over. And then I didn't do my daily stoic like at all. On steps, I'm going to give myself a check minus, and water as well, check minus. I just have been like off the wagon with my water, and I need to get back on the right track and like drink all of the water that I need to drink because I'm kind of feeling it, and I hope I don't get any kidney stones. I'm praying not, but I need to correct this like ASAP. Okay, so we just kind of talked that through. Let me go ahead and set up this page. We're just going to use the makselife like recommended reflection prompts, which are listed up here. I'm going to alternate between this red and purple, and then we're going to use some gray dots. I don't know. We're just like doing a different color scheme this week. No really rhyme or reason besides like using the red for February. So I'm going to just place a swatch down for each of these prompts and just kind of leave a little bit of space. I just count like however many dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, then I'm going to start with just 1 dot per category. We're probably going to skip around just a little bit. Now let me write in my labels. So this first one is wins, then worked, didn't work. I messed this up already. Okay. Let me fill this in a little bit with red. Whatever. Lessons and adjustments. So we're not necessarily going to go in order of the categories. We may skip around a little bit, but let's just start with wins and see what we got here. So I got my social media redesign done. It wasn't super drastic. I just updated my colors, my fonts, my intro, outro, all of those things. I had a good convo with my parents. I almost bought a camper this week. I have been like just one-track minding on campers, and I've got to stop. I've got to like regroup and remember my priorities, and maybe next year or the year after I will go that route, but I just gotta I gotta stop. Someday though, I will have one. Okay, and at least I know what I want now. I got my taxes done and paid for, and I already got my refund. It wasn't a lot, but it was good. My strength training is going really, really well. I'm enjoying it somehow. It feels good. Like, it feels just good to like get stronger, you know? Which it hasn't been that long that I've been doing this, just since January, but I'm going to call that like that it worked. What didn't work, I'm going to say my water intake and my steps. What also worked is my self-care night. I used to do those all the time, and I'm glad that I'm bringing that back. I also just totally neglected my daily stoic. What also worked was checking in with my budget. We're getting to the end of the pay period, and so it's really important for me to avoid like transferring money from my savings. I like to pretty much clear out my checking account every pay period, whether I move the rest into savings or whatever. But yeah, I gotta make sure I'm not overspending. To be clear, I also, when I like the first day I get paid of the month, I go ahead and move, like that's when I do my big changes. Like I pay a bunch of stuff, I pay myself with my savings, all of that. It's just when I get to the end of the month, I have to make like little decisions with that kind of thing. For a lesson this week, my wellness log has been really good for me. I'm going to go ahead and add an adjustment here. I think that I want to share the wellness log in some kind of capacity with a video. Like, I used to do wellness plan with me's in one of these wellness logs, and I just need to like revisit what I did because I know people liked those and I've gotten a couple of requests for them. So I might try that. It might keep me accountable and it might be good in like a roundabout way, you know? A win is I'm keeping up on my reflections. We're doing it right now together. And so far this year, I think I've skipped one time. Okay, adjustments. I'm going to move a couple of things to next week. Okay, another lesson for me is I actually enjoy strength training. Okay, that feels good. Let's move over here to weekly actions. But before we do that, let's go to my monthly goals and just kind of catch up here. Okay, so this second dot is for last week, which is here. No, here. Okay, just checking in here. I didn't get any time outside, but that's not purely my fault. It's more the weather. Finished that. Doing well there. Yes. Yes. Check minus. Check minus. Yes. Ooh, my call map. I kind of forgot about it until now. Let's maybe incorporate that this week. I'm going to do the review later. We're doing that well. Travel fund, we're going to do that later as well. I got this done. Weekly cleaning and my monthly tasks, which are located over here. We're going to do the sink this week. Okay, so not doing terrible. Not doing bad at all. Okay, let's put this back in. And go back here. So I like to use the colors of the categories. So let's grab all of those. And we're not going to skip around on this one. We're going to go through each category in order. So let's go to monthly and check it out real quick. So I want to incorporate self-care this week. I'm doing really well on these last two. So I think I'm going to grab reflection as well. Kind of what we did last week, but just keeps me accountable to write it down in here. For fun and recreation, so Callie and I, my sister, we are going to see Rent. I'm so excited. They did a little preview on Instagram and it looks just so good. They even had like a local graffiti artist because my town is like really into murals. Like we have a mural festival here called the Hoodoo Festival. It's a very big thing. Anyway, they had this guy come by and like do like a bunch of stuff for the set. I think that's going to be really cool. Anyway, I accidentally put them on this week, so we're just going to move those over along with the Valentine's cookies because they're on here as well. And I want to drop those off on Monday. Working, learning. Let's look over here. I mean, work is going really well. I finished my social media design. So I'm going to do, I need to do some content planning. So let's add that in here for this week because work is going pretty well. If you have any video requests or ideas, leave those down in the comments and I will definitely go through them and pick out ones that I can for sure do and want to do. And I'd love your ideas. Sometimes my ideas well is just running dry and now this is one of those times. Okay, family and relationships. So I definitely need to call my sister or text her or maybe just talk to her on Monday and figure out our plans for Saturday because we're going to go out to dinner. We always do before we go see a show, and then call my parents, of course. Health and wellness. This one went okay last week and we have some room for improvement. So I definitely did not step it up with my water and my steps. So we're going to add that onto the list this week for sure. The wellness log is going pretty well, but I don't know if I need to include that this week. Let's check with monthly goals as well here. So I think I'll just do these first three because I'm really using the wellness log regularly. So I don't feel like I need to put that into my weekly actions. At least not right now. If I like slack off, I'll add them back. But for now, I think we're good. Spiritual and personal growth. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with these two because the Daily Stoic, since I didn't pick it up at all last week, I just think that I need to take a break from it already. I know it's only been like a month since I've been using it, but we're going to go with these two and just see what happens. I love the Calm app. I think it's really good for me, and I haven't used it in a while, and I have like a free lifetime subscription to it because this was such a weird thing. Like at the beginning of the pandemic in 2020, they offered this to teachers, and I immediately like jumped on that, and they said like after several years, they said, you know, like we stand by this. We're not doing it anymore, but we stand by this free subscription, and so I'm super grateful for that. And let's just say 2 times this week and just see what happens, you know? There's all kinds of stuff on there. There's meditations, there's like sleep stories, all kinds of stuff for financial. So this is the week that I'm getting paid. And so these are a few things that I'm going to grab. I'm going to review. I like to review. I say end of the month here, but it's really the end of the pay period. I'm going to grab these 3 because they just like make sense this week. So that would be contribute to my travel fund, update my budget 3 times, and do my monthly review. So I keep a spreadsheet of like all the different categories in my budget, and that makes it really easy to do a little review because everything is there. It does all the math for me, and I'd even like I have conditional formatting to show me where I am like overspending or even underspending so that then I can adjust things each month. Okay, physical environment. So this one, let's check out my weekly or my monthly tasks here. So this month or this week, I think I will go ahead and organize the cabinets. Like it's kind of order here or out of order here, but no, I'm going to do the toss. Yeah, I haven't done that in too long, we'll say. And so I definitely think that is due. So my monthly task here is going to be like going through my cabinets and tossing any items that need to go. And of course, my weekly cleaning. I don't really have a pantry in my house because my house is pretty small and it's just me. And so my pantry is really in my cabinets. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on this week. Our little tip here at the bottom for this week is review your monthly process. See where you can give yourself permission to make adjustments and remain flexible. I like that. These are always nice. So we have reflections done for this week that informed my weekly actions. For the next week, I feel ready to go. I feel motivated. This process always gets me refocused. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share the video if you did enjoy it. And subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'll see you next time. Bye.